Hello, welcome. Today we will talk about the timing of marriage through German astrology. Char dasa is one dasa. The time period is determined by zodiac signs, not the planets. So, which is the main period or sub period of that zodiac sign which can give us marriage? The most difficult thing to figure out is the timing of any event. In that, a stalwart can take upon himself the challenge and pressure that whatever he says may go wrong. Whether I will be accurate or not, my trace will be broken. But I believe that by trusting my intuition in God and having faith in the knowledge we've gained, if these principles align, if multiple principles indicate something, then certain events might occur. For example, relationships can be more important for you. You might meet someone who will play an important role in your life, or there could be health issues at this time. If we can narrow down the time frame to 3 months or 6 months, that would be a significant achievement. Pressure always ruins the work. Explore principles in German astrology for marriage and scope. Dasa seems capable, but results are pending. Start with marriage timing in Char dasa. What does it say? Because when you understand the principle, it will seem from every angle that this condition is also capable. This dasa seems capable, but nothing has come into our hands yet. Let's start with the timing of marriage. According to Char dasa. Now, what does Char dasa say? Char dasa indicates that any main period or sub period associated with a particular zodiac sign, like if my main period is in Gemini, then I need to look for associations in that sector. For example, if the planet of wealth is placed in Gemini, it is in the 12th house. If the main period or sub period of Libra comes, it can provide for marriage. Libra, the 7th sign, naturally links to marriage. For example, if the main period or sub period of Libra comes, it is assumed that it can provide for marriage because it has natural energy. 7th sign, Kalpurusha chart. This is the sign that falls in the 7th house of my horoscope. For example, if Gemini is the main period and it falls in the 7th house of my horoscope because my rising sign is Sagittarius. So I think this zodiac sign will also be able, any zodiac sign that naturally aligns with the 7th house can provide for marriage, like the main period of Taurus and the sub period of Scorpio. Now, this also gives the capability to get married. Let's move on. It seems simple that we need to look at the zodiac signs dasa and see if marriage will happen through the placements of the MD and AD. Arup Dilema further states that it's not just about placement. All these factors also matter if they aspect each other. Zodiac signs can aid marriage. If Cancer is my main pillar and Venus, my wealth planet, relates to my Cancer sign, or the moon, by aspects, it indicates a connection. If the moon enters the sublord and sits favorably with the sublord, I would say this has become capable, or if the lord of the sublord associates too, like the moon has gone and sat in the Upada. It is sitting in the Kush zodiac sign where the Upada falls. So now I would again say, yes, this has become capable, or if the lord of the sublord is also associating with it. So, what I mean to say is that we will somehow find a way to prove our point. When we said the timing, we said marriage happened for this reason, and we are considering the placements. We are covering all 12 signs in one way. But you need to understand how to interpret this, that running through Cancer in the period, and I need to see that the Cancer sign is the 4th sign of the Kalpurusha chart. So it can naturally make me emotional. Matters of home will become important to me, and feelings will become significant. Now, where does that sign fall in my horoscope like Cancer? If it falls in the 8th or 9th house of my horoscope, like if it falls in the 9th house, then traveling, college, and education become important. Now I need to see which 4 factors or significators are there in the Cancer sign. If he is developing a relationship with Venus, then she can get him married. Saturn in Cancer supports marriage. Marriage gives dasa or antadasa like an exam. So, basically, we need to understand the base or eligibility of that zodiac sign, which direction it is going in, and what kind of actions it will perform. But what's the scope? The scope is that marriage gives us the dasa or antardasa in which we can understand it like an exam. My main period is in Cancer, so I need to see that when I create the ascendant in Cancer, it places Capricorn in my 7th house. Now, if the Capricorn sign is related to the significator of wealth, whether it's from the 12th house, the 7th house, or however you refer to it, and if it connects with Venus or the 7th house or its lord in the horoscope, like Saturn is placed with the lord of the 7th house in the horoscope. Even then, the planet sees one direction, one path to complete its work. So let me start from the beginning. What I'm saying is that my main period is in Cancer, and I need to understand which sign Cancer represents in the Kalpurusha chart. Where does it fall in my horoscope? Which 4 factors or fixed significators are forming a relationship? My associations, mindset, and events will have some kind of connection. As long as that time period is long, my main period will be for marriage in Cancer. It will be eligible when the sign that falls in the 7th house and its lord are connected with these factors of mine. This might seem a bit difficult. Let's understand it through the charts. We need to apply these principles to the main period as well as to all sub-period signs. For example, if the sub-period of Taurus comes in Cancer, then the sign that falls in the 7th house from Taurus is Scorpio. Now I need to see the relationship of Scorpio with these factors to determine the eligibility. Let's understand the example 4. If we talk about the 23 dasas together, then things start to make sense. Like their main period has come and they ask me, when can they get married? Obviously, they only ask when they are looking for marriage, considering the relationship and the proposal. So I will look at which sign represents the 6th house in the Kalpurusha chart, which naturally shows disputes, diseases, and fights. This is the chart of a lawyer. Now, Anna, we'll take a look. It falls in the 10th house of my chart where Ketu is located. So at that time, how your market situation is going, how much money is coming in, and what your image is like will all become important for you. There is no relationship between any variable factor or base factor with it. Chart, 3rd house. Mercury, moon suggests marriage. Mercury, my Darkaraka's lord, signals marriage talk soon. So, in my mind, it will come to me that the time frame for marriage or discussions is coming up and their association is with the significator moon. So I will have to mention at this time how the relationship is, how the married wife's health is doing. There isn't a fight between the two. You see, Saturn is also there, which naturally indicates pain and suffering. And in that sign. And without saying all this, what did they ask me? They asked, when can the marriage happen? What need to look at? I need to see if I create a chart based on the dasas. The sign that falls in the 7th house, where is that placed? It is placed in the 4th house of the chart. Their lord is Jupiter. Who are they associated with? They are receiving aspects from Venus and Saturn. We talked about Venus, which is the natural significator of marriage. So I will consider them eligible. But based on the analysis, you see that there is a 12p there. As we mentioned, whatever period is currently running, like the main period of the charts, if I create a chart for them, what is the relationship of the sign that falls in the 7th house and its lord with? The first thing is that it came in, and the second thing is that its lord is associated with Venus. The main period is very significant, even if we don't give it much importance. Now, I will pay attention to all my subperiods to see which one seems very eligible for marriage. The Vimshottari dasha is currently running in the wild show. I will keep in mind how my transit is going. If I create a chart for Tula, Libra, then the placement of Venus shows me that Venus in Libra becomes capable. That's its theme, its base. What is more important is the sign that falls in the seventh house from Venus. There, the lord of that sign, Mars, has an aspect from Mercury, which is also the significator of the earth, and the seventh lord for that chart. Remember, conjunction is more important than aspect. So I considered them eligible. In fact, there is also an aspect of Mercury on Aries. So, if I create a chart for Libra, the sign that falls in the 70s and the relationship of the sign and so on is being influenced by Mercury, which is the lord of the seventh house in my chart and also the significator of the earth. So I will start giving importance to such subperiods for Libra. If I create a chart for Scorpio, then my significator of the earth is sitting there. And what is more important is that the sign falling in the seventh house or the connection of the husband with any important factor is not happening. When I talk about Sagittarius, the sign that falls in the seventh house comes into my chart's seventh house, and its lord is itself the significator of the earth. When I create a chart for Capricorn, the sign that falls in the seventh house is the moon, which is placed with the significator of the earth. Identify the key factor for eligibility. Libra and Sagittarius are capable due. I need to identify the most important factor to see who seems more eligible. I am voting for Libra and Sagittarius. They seem more capable to me through their relationship with these factors. Their marriage happened when the main period of the charts was running and the sub-period was Capricorn, but their relationship or courtship had formally started. When they were in the sub-period of Sagittarius, I was telling you that the engagement period also falls within that time frame, which is also the courtship period, when you feel that yes, this can work out. And in their Vimshottari, Venus was in the main period and also in the sub-period. Again, Venus itself is capable of granting marriage, so this is how it happened. And the transits at that time were also similar, which is why their marriage took place then. When we combine a system and approach, we can express thoughts clearly. Keep your tools ready for important tasks. Aquarius's main pillar is running. Aquarius falls in the 9th house of my chart. It's the 11th Kalpurush sign. Friends, network circles, earning and learning through networks. Now Aquarius falls in the 9th house of my chart. So luck, father, and learning will be important. It is the 11th sign of the Kalpurush. So friends, the network circles have come into the 9th house. So we can also say earning through network circles and learning through video networks. You can also merge two signs and houses to tell something. Now, when I read the theme of Aquarius, I see that there is an aspect of Venus and an aspect of the moon. The moon, the earth significator, and Venus is the natural significator. What will be important for us in a relationship is which sign falls in the 7th house from Aquarius. There is Jupiter there, which is the lord of the 7th house in the chart. Then the sun is placed in the 7th house of the chart. So I feel that yes, I can see some capability coming from here. I will also keep my 12th and 7th houses in mind. Now I will try to find out about the sub-period of Aquarius. Which sub-period do I feel is the most capable of granting marriage? Let's create a chart for the basis. So sign that falls in the 7th house is Virgo. The association of Mercury is not in any way with my significator. Then I create a chart for Aries. In Aries, the 7th house is Libra, where Venus is also present. So I will start giving importance to Aries. With Taurus rising, I'll watch the bi aspect, focusing on the moon's aspect for eligibility. My focus will be on Gemini. But at the same time, I will also keep an eye on the bi aspect there, particularly how the moon's aspect, which is my significator of the earth, is leaning towards eligibility. My attention will definitely go towards Gemini because the sign that falls in the seventh house there is the same sign that appears in the seventh house of my chart. With Cancer rising, Saturn is in the seventh. With Leo rising, Leo and Aries are in the seventh. Sunny's association also does not have many facts. After that, if I make Leo the ascendant, then Leo and Aries are naturally on 7. If I had to give importance to each other, then in this way, I give importance to each subperiod as to who can get married and which Bamchotri Dashabi is contributing or supporting. Then I would give more importance to the areas. I would give it to Jamuna. I would say that during this time frame, your marriage could happen in Leo. The time killer in their Vimshotari was Rahu in Mercury. Rahu is best positioned in the seventh house itself. They are married in Aquarius, in squares. If I separate the squares, then the 12 does not come in the sign falling in the seventh house. Their engagement took place in Aquarius E during the main period of Aries. In the sub-period from Aries to the seventh house, full capability owed for marriage. For marriage, their courtship was very long. When the marriage happened, the go-kart sub-period was running in Aquarius. So if you reach the time period of courtship or what's really happening in your life, I think it works. So what we need to do is understand the base of whatever dasha is running, and from there, the connection to the seventh house happens with these factors. It's like a planet has found its path to do its work, and that path is very important to reach the destination. If that happens, then the sign falling in the seventh house during the main period or sub-period becomes capable of proving the event. Here, the placement of the 12th or seventh house, the winners, or the significator of the earth, is more important than the aspect. The direct association of the sign is given more importance than the load. I hope you like this principle. You should try applying it to many charts to reach aggressive timing. Thank you so much.